Hello, welcome to the 199 Unlisted podcast. My name is Frank, and I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, wearing clothes. I'm wearing a twice hat and a twice pullover. That's right. Anyway, for those of you who have been watching the channel, I don't know how many years this podcast, because we do two different ones now, have been going on, but we have consistently made fun of Billie Eilish for, well, since she came out. When did Billie Eilish come out? Let me look that up. Let me look that up. Billie Eilish came out in, I typed up Billie Eilish and it autocorrected to Billie Jean. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. So we have been making fun of Billie Eilish since 2023. No. That's when she came out as queer. And we did make fun of her for that too, though. Um, there you go. I got it now. We've been making fun of Billie Eilish since 2015. That is correct. Yes, right. Because I've been doing this longer than that. But anyway, so yeah. Um, so I have consistently not liked her. She looks like a dog, and when she first came out, and it was like a couple of months after she first came out, there was a picture of her. God, like I don't know, I forgot what she was wearing, but like you could see her ass, and you could tell she had a nice rack. And then you remember I made a series of videos after that going, you know what? If she would have just debuted like that, I would have no problem with her. But dressing like a bag lady, especially with her face, that's just not going to cut it. You got to make a first good impression when you're a pop star. When you're a pop star, the first thing you should sell is sex. Look at Britney Spears. When Britney Spears came out in what 1998, everyone liked her because Britney Spears in that "Baby One More Time" video, she was dressed like a porn star. If you watched porn back in 1998, the most popular porn stars were dressed like Britney was in that video. So I mean, people are gonna pretend they don't know that, but like Trina Michaels and Eva Angelina were really popular back then. That's how she dressed, and so you had, so even though the music sucked, you're like, dude, she's hot because it reminded you of all the porn you saw. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on to Billy. Billy made a bad decision. She decided to, not take advantage of having a nice ass and a nice rack, and wore a trash bag for the first couple of years. And I only knew she had a nice body because like I just saw some paparazzi pics. I'm like, oh, okay, she's got a butter face, nice rack, nice ass, other parts, but just the face is ugly. But since she covers it up, I just see this ugly bitch, and so I don't like her, and so I need a woman to, um, show some skin if I'm gonna listen to her music. Hence, K-pop is very popular in my household. Anyway, so at the Grammys, Billie Eilish made a fool out of herself, along with a lot of other celebrities who live in mansions, gated communities, do not know what real life is like, and are saying, fuck ICE, ICE has to go, blah blah blah, terrorists, fascism, Hitler, Nazi. When you live in a gated community, when you are a multimillionaire, when you are famous, you do not speak for the common man. The average person is poor. Okay, the average person is affected by illegal immigrants because the illegal immigrants, they take resources that would be given to us, the poors, and it goes to them. Our government loves, especially if you live in a democratic in a blue state, they love giving illegals benefits over American citizens. And then the illegals take our jobs because they'll work for, a much lower wage. And you can't blame the people hiring them because laws don't get enforced. Like if the government would actually find the companies who hire these people, that would be solved. But anyway, so Billie Eilish said, well, like, no one is illegal on stolen land. It's talking about you can't, ICE can't take away the illegals, but ICE is taking away the, pedophiles, the rapists, the child traffickers, the murderers, you get it. ICE has a list of bad people that they're going after, but yet Billie Eilish doesn't want them to go. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But she lives in a gated community, so it doesn't matter how bad things are. But anyway, she said there's no illegals on stolen land. So if you want to be technical, America, America's land, some of it was bought, some of it was won in a war. Um, some of it was taken over by like signing treaties and signing contracts. Um, and if you're talking about the Native Americans, I don't think you can consider that stolen. I think you can consider that conquered. You know, we conquered them, made them sign some unfair stuff, put them on reservations. I'm just saying, you can't just steal land. Land is conquered. Land is bought. Anyway, but according to her logic, she lives, and I can't pronounce it, but where her mansion is, it's on native Indian land, and I can't pronounce the name, and I'm not gonna butcher it. Look it up. But exactly where she lives is quote unquote stolen land. There used to be an Indian tribe exactly where she lives. So is she gonna give it back? No, of course not, because she's just talking out of her ass. But there's a lot of memes about her. My mansion is built on stolen land, but I'm not giving it up because I'm a hypocritical virtue signaler. But that's pretty much every millionaire celebrity up there. They don't know what they're talking about. They just know that half the country, not not half the country, but there is a big portion of the country who is brainwashed, the woke libtards. Okay, the people who are the jobless, the unemployed, the perpetually online, who will who live in an echo chamber. And Hollywood, like, people like her are mostly left leaning and mostly have really, nice posh lives. So their bad policies that they're pushing do not affect them. So they can push for this bullshit because it doesn't matter what happens out on the streets, it's not going to affect her at all because she has that, so I think she's worth like $50 million. So it doesn't matter how bad it gets. It doesn't matter if it's so dangerous you can't go outside. She can DoorDash it or whatever. She can have a drone deliver her stuff. It just, her life isn't affected. My mansion's built on stolen land. What about this one? Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a GoFundMe so to help this guy move into Billie Eilish's mansion because it's on stolen land. Uh, it backfired. I like this one. Billie Eilish, stolen land lakes, salty butter. Dude, that was trippy how my it flashed to my screen. Anyway, yeah, Licio is still my background. Been the sexiest idol, I want to say, for the past 5 years or so. My number one. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, I think because the Grammys the ratings were so low. Like the Oscars and the Grammy, like all these award shows, the more political people have gotten, the lower the ratings have gotten. Like the Grammys have just been in the just just tanked because when you say stuff like fuck ice and all that stuff, you have to remember Trump won the popular vote. And I believe there's like 130 million registered voters, something like that. I mean, yeah, like 130 million registered voters, I think, around there, whatever. And so more than half of them voted for Trump. And then you have to account all the people who didn't vote because like this country has like 300 and roughly 30 million. And so, more than half the country wants what Trump wants, and that is close the border. They basically want the opposite of what Biden did. Biden had the border wide open, which is ridiculous. We don't want that because it affects poor. See, rich people, you can have you can have no borders, right? Which means we won't have a country. But anyway, and rich people's lives won't change because they live in this bubble. Money does help. If you have enough money, you can kind of, have an umbrella and all this shit will miss you and trickle down to the poor people. But the average person is poor in America. Okay, that's just how it is. The average person in America is poor. So those people, your average Joes and Janes, they want the illegals gone because that'll fix the housing market, fix the job market. Those two things are very important. Jobs and housing. Those are two things that affect poor people the most. Cost of living affects poor people the most. I went on X to see if there's any. Let's see. Americans call on Billie Eilish to return her 14 million LA mansion to the Tongva tribe after she claimed no one is illegal on stolen land. Yeah, so the Tongva tribe is where she's living. So her house right here, this used to be Tonga land. She could also graciously host illegal aliens in her mansion. After all, she has the moral high ground. Put up or shut the fuck up. Yeah, she's too busy fucking her brother for that. And then there's people. Billy reacts to fans saying they are over their Billy face. His. I think this is old though. Yeah, this is old. I paid 14 million for a mansion on stolen land and then built a border wall around. She looks like a man. God, she's ugly. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know she was dressed like a fake priest. I don't pay attention to her. Really? Nothing would surprise me. I mean, she's very anti-American. I'm sure she's anti-Christian. I like this. Billie Eilish is living on stolen land. She invites all to come live with her now. Yeah, but like she has a restraining order after she found a shirtless stalker at her home. So how Billie Eilish feels after reposting uh, three IG reels about ice. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, there's a lot of people. America is on stolen land. Petition for Billie Eilish to give up her California mansion on stolen land. Dude, she is hideous. She looks like a dude. I don't understand. And see, here's another thing. Like, I think because the average person's average, and a lot of people are below average. I think a lot of people who are like ugly see her and go like, oh well, if she could do it, I could do it. Like like I could be famous, and I think that's probably part of the appeal. Why is she singing like this? She's so stupid. Oh boy. What is this? Female artist with the most fan page activity. Okay, so I think we're out of memes. Yeah, we're out of memes. Oh, this one. Look at this one. Wait, we got to see this one. This one looks good. Uh, I love AI.
I want to apologize to the Tonga tribe for living on their land. I will be setting up wigwams for them to live in.
What? What an idiot! Oh, what a loser! Good.
Oh, that's just great. Mm, oh, what's this?
Wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay? So...
See, but that's why the ratings are so low. No one, people don't want to hear their neighbors' political opinions, just because everyone is thinking the same thing. Well, what do you know? You know, especially if you don't know someone. So, like, if you're friends with someone, obviously, you know them obviously a lot better than a stranger. So, you know their mental capabilities, right? Like, if this person actually is brainwashed by CNN, or maybe they just watch independent news, so like where their opinions coming from. Okay, so like you can gauge and like have some interaction. But if it's just some rich person who does not live a life like yours, and they're telling you who to vote for or whatever, that's just insulting. Because, oh well, I'm just supposed to do what you say because you're rich and you're famous. That makes no sense. Political endorsements by rich people, maybe at a time they worked, but if they do work, it shows you how stupid people are. But the culture has changed because people have become more aware of, it's not about race or where you're from or blah blah blah. It's about economic class. A poor white person is the same as a poor black person, is the same as a poor Chinese person. Because they're all in the same boat, because poor is poor. And obviously rich is rich. I mean, like, look at P Diddy. If P Diddy was poor, he'd be serving 6 life sentences for all the stuff he did. Okay, I think he only got 4 years, and then he'll probably be out in half of that time. You know, so it is what it is. Anyway, I've said enough. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you later. Peace.